This episode of One for Paul was brought to you by our patrons. If you'd like to support the show, then go to patreon.com/oneforpaul. Hello and welcome back to One for Paul, the show where I, a non-pop culturist, get inducted into the world of pop culture by my friends, co-humans, and nemeses. Joining me today was my co-human, but she felt so strongly that she wanted to be my nemesis that she came back and forced me to watch another thing. Eleanor, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, fuck you, Paul. Hey.
What are we watching today?
We are watching Season 4, Episode 1 of The IT Crowd, one of my absolute favourite shows in the world.
That's right, welcome to the HR Crowd, the show about a misunderstood human resources manager dealing with far too much of everyone else's stuff.
Paul, listen, I think we both know that's not right.
I'd watch it. I mean...
Grow up, Paul!
I'd watch it. I don't know about... I prefer this.
HR makes me depressed.
It does. I feel like it would be a very different show to what we've actually watched. So you and a lot of other people are surprised I haven't watched a lot of the IT Crowd. I've watched the first 3 episodes of Season 1 in a couple of podcasts ago, and I did like it, and I guess I just haven't watched any more since because I've had stuff to do.
I'm so busy, I can't have fun. I absolutely love the IT Crowd. It's sort of, I grew up watching it and it's sort of been very formative to me as an actor and also as a comedian and a lover of comedy. So yeah, thanks IT Crowd.
Yeah, for real. So this episode is called Jenn the Fredo.
Yeah.
Which is a brand of chocolate frog candy here in the UK.
Yeah, and it used to be 10p and now it's like £50 or something. I don't know. People like to really rag on that, but...
The rate of Fredo inflation is seriously out of hand. The Bank of England should look into it.
Have you had one?
I have had one, yeah.
They're good, right? Especially the caramel ones.
They're very good. I mean, especially when, like, you're sort of a young teen who's, like, first time on the bus coming home, and you're like, you know what I could do on the way home? Is I could just buy chocolate.
Yeah.
You ever just buy chocolate? Shit, I can do that. I'm a grown-up. I'm 12.
I still feel bad about it. As a 24-year-old woman, I'm still like, oh god, I'm just buying chocolate. It feels like I don't know. It feels like a treat. It feels really naughty. I'm like, don't tell mum.
Oh no. Look, even in my 30s, I'm still like, I'll buy a chocolate and go like, oh man, my dad's gonna yell at me.
Yeah, exactly. I pay tax. Why am I fucking afraid of buying a tiny chocolate frog?
I earned this chocolate frog. Damn it.
God damn it. Fuck.
Okay, so fade in to Moss and Jenn in the IT department. Moss is going to be hosting an RPG evening and wants to know whether his choice of music is mysterious enough.
Does this sound mysterious?
That's pretty mysterious.
Very good. Well, I was hoping for Ruddy mysterious. Oh!
It's fairly mysterious.
So fucking wonderful about the word Ruddy.
It is.
He doesn't really swear that much, and Ruddy is sort of a bit of a spicy word for him.
It is a little bit, eh? Yeah, I find that it also is a word that cannot be properly pronounced in anything other than some British accent.
Yeah.
I guess Irish accent would work too, fine. But like a Canadian accent, he was hoping for a ruddy good time.
I think even if you hadn't seen Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, that interaction there just sets up beautifully their characters and their sort of dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so fond of Moss.
He's very good. He's very good. Jenn doesn't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, but reckons it's probably a sex thing.
Yeah, sounds like it, huh?
Well, I mean, look, I'm not sure which came first, but there's a game.
The dungeon or the dragon?
Well, I mean, you'd hope that both would take care of each other, because, like, they're both, you know, you got to be considerate in these things.
Absolutely.
I didn't even mean to go there. Thank you.
Don't sound proud of yourself. It's disgraceful.
I can always count on you for the filth.
I am telling your mother, behave yourself. Get your mind out of the gutter.
But it's this lovely line. Oh no, it's not a sex thing. Far from it, Jenn.
Far from it, Jen. Now, Paul, have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons?
Oh yeah, frequently. Yeah. Started playing in 3.5, and I'm actually now working on a campaign that I want to DM at some point. So I'm going to be the dungeon master, which definitely sounds like a sex thing, but it's not. It's very far from a sex thing. It's so far
from it. Bloody hell. Yeah, I had an ex-boyfriend who was a big D&D player.
Oh, yeah.
And he tried really, really hard to try and get me round to it. But I have just the concentration of a 3-year-old who's had too much lemonade. So I really can't concentrate. And also, my mind just wants to go to funny places all the time. I want to be stupid and silly. And it's not the best when you're playing with people who really, really want to take it seriously.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Dungeons and Dragons is, it's not one thing. The way I've played it is always more like an acting game, right? Which is why I'm surprised that you never got into it, right? But I run things where I like a silly table, and partly I rely on the players to sort of do that for them. Like, if I'm DMing, I'll be like semi-serious straight man as these things go, and then I let the players do whatever kind of crazy bullshit they want.
Nice.
So, the gnome will come out and be like, I light the tavern on fire. And I'm like, you want to what now? Yeah, I have this fire spell, and like, it's not going to set itself on fire.
I feel very seen.
Right?
I remember actually having a conversation with him, bless him, where I was just like, we tried a couple of different things, and then we were playing in a group setting, and he was like, have you done all your character sheets? And I was like, yes, chaotic evil. And he's like, that's why does it have to be chaotic all the time? I'm like, because, when else am I allowed to do this?
Well, that's a little bit about what D&D is about. It's about playing a role. It's about acting. It's about, so yes. I mean, the only thing that like all of the numbers and stats are there to do is to prevent it degenerating into that thing we all did as kids, where we played pretend together, and we'd be like, but I've got laser eyes. But I've got sunglasses, so your laser eyes don't go through that. Yeah, but I've got like, it's that, right? That's what we're doing. We're playing pretend.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we have a number system and a dice roll system to add some randomness to it, where even your big, strong barbarian can be like, I go and attack him. Well, you also rolled a 1, so you've now tripped over your own shoelaces and landed face first in a pie. We didn't even know there was a pie there. But evidently, someone left a pie right there on the dungeon floor.
Oops. Yeah, no, it's very fun. It's very fun.
It's a very adaptable game. So, like, I would encourage you, like, when I get the game going, I'll invite you to the table. It'll be good fun.
Well, thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Again, chaotic evil.
Yeah, I could do that. I could roll with that.
Woohoo.
So, Moss's relentless enthusiasm fails to convince Jenn to keep listening to him.
No, she's the perfect sort of like dry antidote to his just like childlike enthusiasm.
Which is weird because he's also very dry.
Yeah,
he's very dry, but also very earnest. Like, he really just likes this and wants people to enjoy the things that he likes too.
Very sincere.
Sincere's a much better word than earnest. I agree with you. So he continues to be my favorite man.
Indeed, just always, in life and everywhere. I saw him once on the street, and I was very taken aback. He's got a wonderful book out, and it's the only book I've ever read where I was like crying, laughing on the train, and I had to stop reading.
This is actor Richard Ayoade, whose name I think I'm pronouncing right.
Yeah, that's correct, I believe. He has a book called Ayoade on Ayoade, A Cinematic Odyssey, and it's basically him interviewing himself.
Oh God, I love it.
Weirdest. Oh, Paul, it's right up your alley. It's really wonderful. So would recommend to anybody who fancies having a good, funny read.
Popular online bookstore. I'll search it later. Perfect. So, Jenn wants to apply for a position as the entertainments manager for the company in which she works. Organizing cultural events for visiting partners.
It's not for you, Jenn.
Cultural events. I'm doing air quotes on an audio podcast.
Everyone can see, don't worry.
Yeah, okay. I feel seen. It's okay.
Yeah. It's sort of I met with a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for?
I think is in fact the word you're looking for. So Roy isn't in yet because he's still moping over a recent breakup. And he's gone so far as to not only Photoshop her out of all of the recent photos they had together, but also print them out.
We have a wonderful line from Moss as well where he says it's like breaking up with Stalin.
I had noted that as well.
So fucking good.
But it's like they're all couple photos, like on a tandem bicycle, and he's on the back.
With his arm around.
And all I can think is that production team that went out with the stills camera had far too much fun that day.
Very good.
So they're in... So speak of the devil, here's Roy, who's definitely completely over his recent breakup and has no emotional difficulties whatsoever.
No, he's doing fine. He's fine. Crying a lot.
He's fine. He's just gonna cry into this plastic cup of white wine for a while. That's okay.
Just a Tuesday night for me.
That's Tuesday morning for him. So.
Well then, all right. Well, not me on that one.
I mean, he's really, Tuesday night.
Really bummed,
you can have wine on a Tuesday. What's wrong with having wine on a Tuesday night? That's like a normal time to have wine.
I don't even have to be sad to be crying into my plastic cup of white wine.
Yeah, as noted before, you could be reading that book by Richard Ayoade.
Yeah, that's true.
Crying, laughing into your glass of wine.
Distressed.
As Jenn consoles him, Moss also tries to console him. And, I guess they doubt when Moss says, like, yeah, I know what you mean. How do you know what we mean, Moss?
I do all right. I love whenever Moss has, like, a slight departure from his nerdiness, whenever he has a bit of success with women or whenever he's, like, a little bit threatening or something. It really tickles me.
It's also like
he's
a three-dimensional character, right? Because even in the season, the first episode, I think, where they're like, they had the dating thing, and he's like, wait, you do the online dating thing? He goes, I'm a mid-30s man who works in an IT department in the basement. Yes, I do the Lonely Hearts internet thing.
Yeah. It's very good, but then we find out because he goes, oh, do you? And he goes, yeah, I met a girl on holiday. And Roy goes, they're always on holiday. And he goes, oh, bugger off.
Is this your Canadian girlfriend? Is that what it is?
My girlfriend who lives in Canada.
Yep. Unlike Dumpo here, the elephant who got dumped.
It's so stupid and childish.
I think that this kind of childish phrasings, it's way more cutting than any of the sort of supposed grown-up words you could be using.
God, it really is. I have a wonderful friend. I'm sort of always in awe of her. I think she might be the funniest person I know. And she definitely knows that as well. She's a kind of a comic tour de force. But she is absolutely extraordinary at insulting people. And the way that she does it is by is talking to them like children.
Oh, that's good.
So instead of going, oh, you fucking idiot, she'll go, oh, what are you doing, you lemon? Oh, what are you doing? And it's just so funny. Do you see people being like, what? You can't call me a lemon? Stop it.
It's like you can't be angry at it. It's like being angry at your old auntie. It's like you can't fight your auntie.
Yeah, well, I've fought your auntie.
Aw.
I have.
I bet she was saying something very upsetting, like calling you some kind of a fruit.
Yeah.
And not even a sweet fruit.
No. Sour. Bitter.
So Roy is particularly hurt because his ex didn't even say goodbye to him. So his plan, and I think it's a good one, hear me out here, is never ever think of her again.
Yeah, standard.
Yep. I mean, that's... Yeah, cut to Jenn and the boss of the company laughing together in his office.
Hard cut to just... I could listen to Matt Berry laugh all day.
This is my first intro to Matt Berry in this show, by the way, because the first 3 episodes had a different guy.
They did. Oh, so Matt Berry is everything. His entrance into the show is a sight to behold. I implore you to go back and watch the episode where he first makes his entrance. It's
for real.
Probably the best character entrance.
The best character entrance. That's a claim. From somebody who knows the hell out of Shakespeare like you do, that's a claim.
I mean...
People come in and, like, sweep their capes about in Shakespeare and shit.
Yeah, like, Hamlet's fine, but listen, have you ever seen Matt Berry kick down the door of a church at his own father's funeral and scream, "Father!" Have you ever seen it?
No, but I agree. I haven't even seen it, and I agree.
He's got glasses on as well. He whips them off. He takes a small pause, and then screams it to the air. I think so. I'm currently living at home, and I've just heard my dad scream back, "Daughter!" after me shouting, "Father!" Oh dear. Sorry, Dad.
Oh my.
Oh goodness.
So they're having a little meeting. And
yes, they are.
My note on Matt Berry here is, it's the first time seeing him in the show, and I immediately love him.
Yeah, oh my god, it's everything. And he, out of this raucous laughter, comes, "Yeah, it's not for you, Jenn." Very good.
See, the role of entertainment manager has traditionally been held by a man. So,
God, we have, again, one of the absolute best lines. I mean, every fucking line is a corker in this. But it's Jenn going, "I love culture. I've seen We Will Rock You 4 times.
That is an impressive cultural portfolio, I think you'll agree.
She's so beige. It kills me.
Oh, my. It's beige is an excellent description of her.
She is, and Catherine Parkinson just plays her so well.
But, like, beige who believes that she's bright red.
Yes, yeah.
Now
pops on a red lip, and it's
when accused of misogyny. The character's name is Douglas, isn't it?
Yeah, Douglas Renham.
Yeah. So Doug here says, "Now hold on there, sugar tits."
Now hold on a minute, sugar tits.
If Renham Industries is so institutionally sexist, then why was I awarded this lovely trophy of a man with an ice cream for a head?
It was awarded to him by a feminist group, and the award was Shithead of the Year Award.
That is, it says it right on the plaque, right there.
I just love he's such a vacuous cunt. Like, he just gets all these like, "Oh, fantastic, great, it's going on the show."
He is not a details man.
No, not at all.
Cut to Roy, looking at his recently photoshopped photos of him, just as Moss tries to console him.
Very, very good. And again, I mean, this is a real departure from Moss's character that I really enjoy. I'm going,
women, eh?
Women, eh? Can't live with them, can't find them sometimes.
Eleanor, what are women? Do you know what women are?
Oh no, too complex creatures. Too complex.
I'm reliably informed that I can't live with them by Moss, and also that sometimes I can't find them.
Yeah.
What are they? Who knows?
Oh god. Complex humans.
I guess. Let's see.
Sorry, go
ahead.
Sorry, go on. Oh, snap. You go.
Okay, I'll go first. So, Moss isn't what you'd call a woman psychologist, but he has learned a few things through conversations with his mother.
I'm not a flippin' woman psychiatrist. Oh, goodness. I just love him.
I get the feeling that he's like, well, I need to say something. And I think I saw something like this on that show I watch.
Yeah. He just gets all of his stuff from, like, pop culture, doesn't he? And, like, movies or video games and stuff.
Well, I guess in a way that's sort of what we all do, except we also get it from other people who also got it from similar places. Yeah.
I love that he just wants to help, and he's just no good at it, apparently, according to Roy.
Well, he wants to help, and he's willing to give it a go, even if he's not sure it's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Which is endearing, I think.
It's very sweet. He just wants his friend to be happy again.
Exactly, yeah. And that's what he says even. It's like, yeah, I know I'm not good at this. I'm sorry, Roy. I guess I'll try something different.
So, yeah.
Roy appreciates the effort, but Moss really, he's not good at this. So Jenn informs Roy and Moss that she got the job as entertainment's manager.
And then we have our third and final, it's not for you, Jenn, paying off. A rule of 3. Very satisfying.
Yep. Rule of 3s. Yeah. That's the way to do it. These writers really, they pay attention. Because, like, the rule of threes is a real thing. And I don't know why it works, but it works.
It does. 3 is a funny number.
Rule of threes, hard consonants, and after that you pretty much say whatever you want and it'll be funny.
Yeah, right?
Or just have a voice like Matt Berry.
Yeah.
Just like have him read the phone book for a while. I'm pretty sure he did do that on the internet at one point because someone said I could listen to him read the phone book. So he went to a stand-up club and literally read the phone book. Like, amazing.
That's very good. He also has another, if you haven't seen it, he has another little comedy series called The Toast of London, where he plays a voice actor. Oh god, okay. So next pod we'll watch The Toast of London.
Perfect.
It's fantastic, and he has to do these big sort of announcements for things, and he's reading out like for a concert or something. He goes, starring Bon Jovi, Lady Gaga. It's so good. The voice of the ages.
The one thing I know him from, I saw a thing on the internet, I think, where he talked about UK rowing.
Right, I've not seen it.
UK rowing was invented in Cambridge by an Oxford guy. It's like just him. Yeah. I think they just got him drunk and asked him to talk about rowing. It was. So anyway,
it does just sound like the most fun.
Does that not sound like the funnest man in the world to be in a recording studio with?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, like present company accepted, naturally. So,
thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So, Roy is also, Roy says it's not for you. Turns out the former guy who's doing it had a heart attack.
Jerry, his heart exploded apparently.
Yep. So, she's the new Fredo, which is not, as I had assumed, a tiny chocolate frog, but a reference to a film I haven't seen.
The Godfather.
Yep.
Yes.
It's on the list.
Hey.
So
Big Matthew movie.
I know I ought to see it. Everyone keeps talking about it. There's references to it everywhere, apparently, that I'm not seeing. I'm glad they told me about this one. So, fortunately, Roy finally spells out to Jenn that her job is essentially to be a pimp.
It's very good, yeah. There's a sort of a wonderful setup there where Roy goes, he was essentially Fredo from the Godfather. He's a pimp, right? Moss, isn't that right? And Moss goes, no, he took the ring to Mordor.
So I have a theory about this. The idea that Moss doesn't know that it's not pronounced Frodo, and the idea that he doesn't know that Roy has also read it and also knows this is bizarre, right? I think he's trying to make a joke, but he's just the most deadpan man in the world.
We do love Moss. Yeah, it's a wonderful joke. I think it's worth it, even if it doesn't quite make sense for the characters. Oh, it's one of these ones where it's like,
sorry, go ahead.
The writers just went, we're keeping it in.
Right.
we're keeping it in. I don't care.
Is there a bunch of improv that happens in this show, or is it really all tight script?
I'm not sure how much improv there goes in. I feel like there's lines here and there, but it's pretty much just written and performed as is.
Because I feel like if you're not letting a guy like Ayoade just go loose for a while, then it's like having Robin Williams on there and going like, no, Mr. Williams, stop reading off script. Like, no, why did you invite this man?
Mr. Williams, please stop doing your impressions. You're giving the audience whiplash, Mr. Williams. Stop it.
That is the best kind of whiplash, though. I miss Robin.
Exactly. Oh, Robin.
So
we love you.
But you know what? Jenn is not going to be a pimp. That's ridiculous anyway. That was the 70s.
No.
It was ancient history. Things are different now.
Exactly.
Businessmen are different. Cut to businessmen being very much not different.
Yeah. Anyway, enough about our balls. Which is, again...
For reference, I don't think I've ever had a conversation where me and 3 other men have laughed about our balls. I don't think that's a real thing.
I mean, you're not a businessman, so who knows? They might be out there laughing about balls.
So, cut to businessmen doing thing. We meet Doug's friend Phil and 2 men named John. I didn't see the puns coming. They'd already introduced the idea of the pimp, and I didn't see the idea of John's coming. And
No.
I'm upset with myself for not seeing it, but also pleased because I got to laugh later.
Yeah, sometimes your brain just lets you enjoy things, and that's
wonderful.
Okay.
I like it when my brain plays nice.
I mean, my favorite thing is when Douglas introduces Phil and the Johns to Jenn. They just assume that she's a stripper or some sort of sex worker, and they sit down. They're like, "Oh yeah, go on."
Yeah.
And they sort of
side note:
horrid.
How much fun are these actors having right now?
God, just being absolute cunts.
I have the feeling their only screen direction was, okay, you're entitled Etonian skis men.
Hey, just be the worst. Just
if you could put on the ugliest face you can make, that'd be great.
And keep it for the entire time.
Yeah, just a real shit-eating grin.
So Jenn says she's got something special in mind. She's going to take them to the show. And Phil says, will there be subtitles?
No, there won't be subtitles. Eleanor, there won't be
There's going to be subtitles?
No, there's no.
Where are there going to be subtitles?
There's no subtitles in this. It's fine. It's a play. There's no subtitles.
I can't read while I'm also trying to see things.
No, there's...
Which also very relatable content. As a dyslexic woman.
Oh, yeah.
I can't do that. Goodness.
Oh, I had a note where, like, I hadn't thought of the dyslexia angle, and now I feel weird about my joke about being like, oh no, when I tell people to watch anime and everybody complains about reading, I'm like, have you, oh no, I feel bad now.
No, you can still make that joke, it's fine.
No, it's fine.
Precisely why I don't watch anime, because I can't read. Woo!
Not while you're watching things, no.
No,
that's far too much work. Though I will say, in the last 10 or 20 years, the dubbing has got way the fuck better. So, like, you can reasonably watch anime and watch the dub, and it's really good. Because what happens before was, like, some cartoon company would import the show, and they'd be like, all right, what's the cheapest way to dub this over? Can we hire 3 friends for the afternoon and just go through 12 episodes? God. Here, read this script. Do you speak Japanese? Kinda. All right, yeah, you can translate it.
Oh my god.
That's the way it used to work. Now you actually have, like, the West is a big market for these, for anime and for Japanese stuff anyway.
Yeah.
So they actually sink some money into it to make it high quality. So as a result, like, the dialogue is really, really good, and it's well translated, and it reads really well, and it's dramatic. So you're not missing anything if you... you get a slightly different thing because languages are different, but yeah, if you're reluctant to get into it because of subtitles, it's good now. So don't stay away. It's good now.
Thank you. You've heard it here first, folks. Anime is good now.
Yeah, it used to be terrible, and now it's good.
Oh dear.
So, Jenn may look like an old maid holding pennies in her ass, but she knows the sleaziest roots around this town that Matt likes to call Londinius.
This is so stupid.
I love him so much.
Oh god, he's just wonderful. Just let him run loose.
There's no irony in him at all.
No, it's sort of, he's not joking at all. It's just he believes his own bullshit so hard. But yeah, so Jenn says, don't sweat it. The show I've got is very raunchy.
Oh yeah.
Very rude.
It's a rude show, is it? Are there women in it?
Yeah. All women. All women cast. Show. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Woo.
That sounds exactly like what I expect.
We get a hard cut to Jenn and the Johns and Phil getting thrown out of the theatre where they've just been watching the vagina monologues.
Which I haven't seen, but I'm told it involves vaginas and women talking.
Yes, yeah, it's a series of monologues about sort of a women's experience being a woman.
Neat.
And it's a very, very famous, very...
I know of it.
Influential piece of theatre.
I know of it. I just, I don't think I was the demographic in its original run.
Perhaps not in its original run.
Sorry?
Perhaps not in its original run.
Yeah, I guess I ought to watch it now. It seems to have sort of grown into this proper, like, pop culture phenomenon.
Yeah, give it a go, dude.
Yeah, might just.
Feminism.
Eleanor,
Jenn!
I'm sure that you can relate. If you ever go to a show with vagina in the title and you get there, and there's not even a single vagina.
I'm livid. Absolutely livid.
They lied to me,
I'll
Jen.
be very disappointed. Oh my goodness. It's sort of the line where she comes out, she's so embarrassed. She goes, "That woman was in EastEnders. How dare you embarrass her?" That poor woman from EastEnders writing to her agent being like, "I just want to do a play. I just want to do a serious play where I'm taken seriously as an actor." You get some cunt in the audience being like, "Take your top off."
Oh, man. They don't even show you what these assholes said, but you can imagine the kind of shit they said.
Yeah.
Oh,
goodness. No. But anyway, so they tell her, we've got a couple of more days left in town. You've got to really impress us.
Yeah. So cut to Doug having a meeting with feminists who gave him the award for being a shithead. Yeah,
absolutely.
They're not super impressed with him, are they?
No, there was a big expose about Douglas Renham, and the way that he runs Renham Industries. And just a few of the quotes that he said. The one that stood out to me is, "Women are essentially no different than radiators," which I
don't know, man. You ever tried to fuck a radiator? Doesn't work very well.
It's so funny. What does it mean? And he just nods and agrees like, "Yeah, that's what I said."
I don't think I have any of them specifically noted, but I think the first one was straight up like a 19th century colonialist talking about non-white people, but they changed it to women. It was like, women need to be civilized by men's lustful passions or something.
Oh god, yeah. He's such an awful character.
And he just goes like, "I see no problem with this. What's up?" Okay.
So what about that did you have an issue with?
I'm listening. Okay. So you're saying that it's a problem that I said that women are literal objects. I'm listening, but I'm not seeing the issue. Could you help me wrap my head around it a little?
God, yeah. He just wants them to take the award back. That's all he wants. There's a very dated reference in here where he goes, "Listen, Gok Wan, I am not. Like, I'm not Gok Wan. That's obvious." And do you know who Gok Wan is?
He was like that TV chef man who is also, I don't know if he's actually gay, but he had like a rather flamboyant presence on screen.
So he had a little fashion program, where he would take sort of women and get them to jazz up their wardrobe and teach them like body confidence and how to sort of dress in a fun way and not hide yourself away and stuff like that. And he was sort of very famous for, being just like a body positive icon for women.
Oh, neat. So this meeting is going really well. I mean, they're definitely going to take the award back after this display, right?
Oh, definitely.
Renham Industries doesn't have a glass ceiling anymore. It's more like a glass floor where the women stand on top of the glass and the men are underneath there, and they all just look up at the women through the floor. Doug enjoys this analogy.
Disgusting. He's just so gross, man. Yeah, so it's going well, but then Jenn pops in, and Douglas says, "I'd like to introduce you to these very special women." And she goes, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to work with prostitutes." See,
could you imagine? You're the head of some really big time organization working for women's rights, and the first thing the first woman in the company you meet says is this. You're like, okay,
oh God,
this has confirmed some shit
no
for
offense. Me. God, Jesus. The thing about Jenn I really love as a character is because she is just awful. Like, she's a misogynist. She doesn't like women. She's not a nice woman to other women. So she just comes in. It's just like, "Listen, ladies, I'm sorry. I don't sell these potatoes for money, and I don't like women who do." I'm like, "You're gross." They're both gross.
Again, I maintain the sort of like childish way of referring to your boobs as potatoes.
Potatoes.
Is like more gross than any other thing you could have said.
God, potatoes as well, Christ. And fucking, it's chopped off beautifully by Douglas going, don't listen to her, the bitch is crazy.
All very convinced that this is not a company that has a problem with misogyny.
No, absolutely not. Nothing to see
God.
here.
Oh my, so I'm laughing so hard I lost my place in my notes. Where am I?
That's okay. So Jenn is back in the IT department lamenting. Right. And Moss, similarly to how we did earlier with Roy, sort of comes to the rescue by going, men, am I right?
What are they like?
Oh, bloody hell.
What are they like? Always smelling up the place and... Yeah.
Stinky, gross men. Whoa.
No, men are, this isn't very,
No, he suggests that perhaps Jenn might benefit from the
male perspective.
From a male perspective.
Yep. As Roy cries into a glass of white wine in the closet, Jenn asks Moss if he knows any men, which, oof.
Do you know any? I don't think.
Oof.
I think that would have just gone straight over his head.
Because, I think Moss is just like, no, I know what you mean. That's,
Yeah, listen, I get it.
That was phrased poorly, but that's fine. I understand what you were saying to me, even if the words said a different thing. But I'm still sitting here going like, right, because men are not permitted to have feelings.
No.
Or drink white wine, which in the UK, I guess, is a women's drink, ?
Like I say, Jenn is trash. She's
awful.
So awful.
I don't even think misogynist hits the mark for her. I think she's just a straight up misanthrope. She doesn't like anybody.
God, and it's just this sort of like, she thinks she's the fucking best, man.
Yeah.
Catherine Parkinson plays her so beautifully. It's so good.
I get the feeling that after every scene, she's sort of breaking character and going, oh God, is that okay? Are you okay? We'll have tea later.
Oh.
I mean, I would want to, because, like, if I'm playing a really awful character, I'm like, oh, shit, I feel really bad now.
Oh, no, I want everyone to think I'm a monster.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, even if I'm playing a really nice character, I break and I'm like, fuck you!
You there, T-boy, get me 6 coffees. No, I'm not going to drink all of them.
I'm going to bathe in them.
3 of them are to throw at you. Make sure they're hot. So cut to Moss, Roy, Phil, and the 2 Johns sitting around a table because Moss's male perspective is, and this is why you need a 20-sided die.
It's so good. I mean, they just look so fucking peeved. It's so thick.
I think they're sort of confused in a way, like I'm waiting for the fun part.
Yeah.
Which...
When do the strippers come in? You know what I mean?
Right? You said this was roleplay. I had a whole different thing in mind. But Moss's enthusiasm is infectious, right? Because they're sort of like, they're following along. They're following the lead, going like, okay, whatever. Like, we're here.
Yeah.
So...
I will be your guide through the land of wherever it is. And we get a lovely physical gag where he says, I will be your eyes. And immediately trips and falls. I'm such a sucker for a trip and fall.
It's Foy's face reaction that does the joke to me. He just goes, oh, God.
God.
Like, the only person not super into this right now is Roy, which is,
Yeah, he's bumming everyone out.
I guess a little bit, eh? He's got a face like a slapped ass.
Is that a phrase you were familiar with?
Nope.
Well, so that's quite a common thing. If someone's looking a little bit miserable, if someone's being a bit of a misery guts, you go, oh, got a face like a slapped ass. And it's always just the most cutting when you're in a mood and one family member goes, why are you sat there with a face like a slapped ass? You're like, bugger off! It's so annoying.
Wow. Every time I hear a new British phrase, I'm like, you guys just have the best phrases.
Yeah, what are the ones that are sort of usually?
God.
What are the ones that?
Oh God, there's generally the use of the word bugger And also any the number of times I've had to explain the concept of taking the piss with anybody who's not from the UK. It's like, no. When they really like you, they're going to rip you a fucking new one, and they're expecting you to do the same back to them, and that means you're friends. And anybody not from here is like, what? You want me to be...
That's not nice.
You want me to be horrible to them? And they don't know how to do it. So they either go not hard enough, and then it's like, oh, are they okay? I guess they don't like me. They didn't insult me at all.
Hey, your mom's a bitch. And you're like, whoa.
Or and that's the wrong way to do it, because you go completely the other end, and you're like, you're a horrible person, and nobody likes you. And you go, oh, shit, no, stop. Okay.
It's too far, shit. Yeah, God.
One
of my favorite phrases.
Sorry, I think we got stream delay. I'm talking over you. Go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. So I have a friend who moved to England from Sweden, and the first time he heard the phrase "to kill two birds with one stone."
Oh, that's a good one.
He was like genuinely shaken. He was like, "What? Are we killing birds? Why are we doing this?" He's like so shaken up. He was such a sweet prince. I was like, no, it means when you do two things at once. And he's like, why didn't you just say that instead of having to kill birds?
As a I guess I'm slightly native English speaker, but like I was literate in French first. When the shit hits the fan is a glorious phrase. It is so visceral.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find more. Hang on. I need to find me some more. I can't. When you mention something and immediately people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, well, like what? Give me examples." And you're like, "Oh my god, I had 16 examples before you asked that." Oh, the verb to fancy.
To fancy.
Yeah, as in fancy. Fancy a cuppa.
Right.
Fancy a cuppa is a good one. Right? Because, like, to me, fancy is the opposite of, like... fancy is like, oh, that's an ornate little cup there.
Extravagant,
It's posh, right? Fancy is posh. But not in the UK.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, like, you could bring home a sourdough bread. My mum would be like, that's fancy.
Yeah.
It's bread, Mom.
I'm knackered.
Oh, knackered is a wonderful word. I love using that word.
Great word.
I didn't know that was sort of a bit of a bad word when I was younger, so I just used to say it. I just go around, apparently, yes. So I used to go around in primary school being like, oh, God, I'm knackered. And I got told off by a teacher once for saying that, and I was like, I didn't know.
I thought it just meant
Nobody
tired.
told me. I think it's on par with the word of crap.
Well, cheeky. Cheeky's still sort of like, I'm still not quite clear on what cheeky is.
Cheeky.
It's like, it's rude, cheeky. But it's not rude. It's like, but
it's like a naughty but a little bit fun.
Oh, okay.
Naughty but with a wink and a nudge. So if I was like, oh, I've been a little bit naughty and I left work 5 minutes early, I didn't stab someone in the street. I did something that was a little bit naughty.
Got
you know what I mean? Or can I be cheeky and bum a cigarette? Or he was being a bit cheeky earlier.
So here's there's another word for cigarette that is commonly used in the UK, and it like you don't smoke a cig, you smoke a fag, right? It's a normal thing to say. Yeah. Everybody says it. Gay people say it, straight people say it. It's a word for cigarette. It doesn't mean anything else, right? Not in that context.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but when it's used as a slur against...
So, when I used to be a smoker, I'm very glad I'm not anymore. I went back to Canada on a vacation, and first thing I did when I landed, I realized that I hadn't bought any cigarettes, and I went outside and I said, "Hey buddy, can I bum a fag, please?" And he looked at me and said,
no.
"You want to do what to a what?" I'm like, "Oh shit, right, hang on. Nope, sorry. So,
backtrack.
Let's start over. My name's Paul. Hi, how are you? I'm gonna leave forever now.
Buy me dinner first. God. Jesus. I sometimes forget that's a bit of a slur.
I think people understand if they've heard it before, and in in this context, it absolutely isn't. It just means cigarette.
Yeah, I would never use it to. Yeah, never ever. Cut this bit out, Paul.
Call somebody that, and you're like, okay, I don't know about that.
Mm. Yeah.
So, should we get back to the episode? Because they're playing...
Let's get back to the episode. Christ, where were we?
That was a long tangent. I enjoyed that tangent.
That was.
They're playing an RPG together. And It's, Roy has a face like a slapped ass. That's where we were. That's what got us onto that tangent.
Yes.
He has just come off of a long-term relationship, you see, and, she never said goodbye. It's not a big deal. It's not going to affect anything.
That's the main bit, the bit that's getting him.
I'm fine.
She never said goodbye, but that's fine.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
I'm just going to... Anyone got white wine? I'm just going to drink a couple bottles. Just a plastic cup here. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, his plastic wine glass.
Phil thinks this game is kind of gay.
Again, lovely explaining how much of a twat these men are.
Yep. Because this what year was this? This is season 4, so it would be like 2008,
this was
9,
in the
something like
2000s?
that.
Yeah.
So this is
pre-2010.
So this is around when we started being like, hey, maybe we should stop calling shit gay. Like,
yeah,
maybe we should stop doing that, because like gay people don't like us doing that, and like using what they are as a pejorative seems weird, so let's not do that. So in this context, I think they are characterizing these assholes as assholes.
Yeah.
Whereas in previous things that I've done in One for Paul, I've had to be like, no, they're not being characterized as assholes. This is just what people said in 2002. So
yeah.
But yeah, Moss is a little bit taken aback. He's like, are dragons gay? Are warrior priests with giant golden rods gay? I don't think so.
They can be.
Here's your character sheets: Unicorn Man, Wood Fairy, and Gypsy Assassin Esmeralda.
Yeah, Phil's not happy about being a woman.
I love that the two Johns leer at him when it's like, I'm a woman.
Yeah.
And then immediately quite confused.
Just like can't stop themselves. It's like a Pavlovian response.
They just heard the word woman. They're like, what? Where?
They were like,
just show me where to point my penis.
Then we have Jenn enters, and she's completed her transformation into Fredo, just completely gross, pimp, sort of mafioso, sort of masculine presence in the room. Checking on everyone. Hey, is everybody all right? Anybody got any drinks? Yeah, just relax. Enjoy yourself.
Phil has misgivings about this and has a brief conversation with Jenn.
Yeah, she sort of convinces him, it's all going to be fine. Look, they're young, they're enthusiastic, they just want to show you a good time. Don't worry about it. It's so gross.
Oh my God.
Something I love about Jenn is that she's so willing to just completely just change her entire self at the drop of a hat. She'll just transform into anything if it means she can get ahead.
So also she pulls Roy aside in what I assume is further references to The Godfather that I'm not quite getting, but other than the subtlety being lost on me, I get the sort of mafioso deal. Like Roy in this instance is the prostitute.
Yeah. So she just gives him, she's like, oh babe, listen, if you're not feeling it, just fake it. Just put on a smile. You're getting good money for this, and it's so gross and horrible.
Just think about the flat that it's going to put the down payment on.
Do you know they're getting like 50 quid or something stupid like that?
Yeah. Like they bought the pizza and beer. That's the deal.
Oh God, yeah.
Which, all right,
100%.
You want to pay for my pizza and beer and have me play D&D? All right, I'm in.
Oh God, yeah, that'd be great.
So now get out there and show those Johns a good time butt slap.
Very good.
Now Jenn is the skis man.
Yeah, she's the skeeviest.
She really is. I think she's skeevier than Phil and the Johns, actually.
She really is. It's gross. Yeah, so then we cut back to Douglas's office.
Yep, he's just finished cleaning the pipes.
Oh, God. It's awful. Yeah, she says, it's the same woman from the feminist organization that we see earlier. And she says, I think there's something more to you. And he says, do you mean the rumors that I killed my wife?
No, I didn't know about those rumors.
Oh, the rumors. See, there was rumors that there were rumors, but that was just bullshit. Which...
The finality with which he says everything is, I think, what tickles me.
But that... It's very good. So our feminist lady says she doesn't like that the accusations came from within the company.
Yeah, it was
which is news to
yeah, it was all just that one. It was
Douglas.
One of the women in the IT department.
Oh.
Cut to downstairs where Phil and the Johns are like super getting into the game.
They are having the best time.
It looks really fun.
Loving D&D.
See the Palace Guard encounter. I do happening. Really. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I really enjoy Roy pretending to have a good time during this. Just seeing sort of the dead behind the eyes, like, oh, that's great. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine.
They even
great.
have like a little Lord of the Rings moment where they pretend with they're role playing like people adventuring and they've just killed some criminals. You know. Someday maybe you can join the Palace Guard. You have my sword, and my staff, and my bunny pendant, and my whatever it is that I'm using, I think.
Whatever it is that I have, I don't know. Very good.
He's very... I would have thought he'd be more into it, but I guess he's preoccupied.
Yeah, no, he's sad. He's having a bad time.
So, of course, during this encounter, the Moss puts on some music, which Phil declares to be ruddy mysterious.
Yes. Which we finally get that payoff that was set up right at the very, very beginning of the episode.
They're very good at paying everything off, is what I'm discovering about this writing team.
It's so good. Do you know, I think the reason I find this so satisfying is because they don't leave any boxes unchecked. You were left feeling like, yeah, that was funny, and I know it was funny. It's just like basic comedy rules. You're adding them up and, you know, settling them by the end. It's very good.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for challenging comedy, and I do like a lot of sort of the more avant-garde weird stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
But at a certain point, if you just want to sit down and laugh for a while, okay,
God, yeah.
We literally took out the textbook that says how to write jokes on it.
Yeah, it's super simple. It's super wholesome. It's like home cooking, but comedy. You know what I mean? Like,
it is.
Sometimes all you want is just a nice, simple... comic meal.
Nobody's gonna play...
I lost my metaphor there.
Yeah, I think we mixed a couple of metaphors there. Because, you know, you can't make a goulash without cracking a few eggs into the hamper.
But what? Huh?
Yeah, you gotta crack some eggs into the hamper.
I don't think you're doing that right, mate.
I'm pretty sure you crack eggs into the hamper and then you throw those into the...
Count your goulash before it hatches.
Don't count your linen before it hatches. That's where you have to crack you gotta crack a few eggs to make an omelet, then use those omelets in the bush where you're gonna get the birds.
What does your house look like? Fuck.
It's,
your kitchen is just a state.
There's a lot of blood in the kitchen, yeah. So...
Oh my god, moving on.
So, yeah, I mean, where else are you gonna slaughter your goats?
Oh my god. Do you mean the rumors that I slaughtered my goats?
Yeah, so this is the breakfast nook, and that is, have you seen the new stove? It's really nice. I think it's called an Aga. I've never had one before, but it's really nice. And also over here is the Satanic Ritual Circle, and over there is some new curtains that I hung the other week. Aren't they lovely? I went with chartreuse. I wasn't sure what color chartreuse was, but I ordered them anyway. I'm super happy.
It sounded nice, so I threw them up.
Ooh, organic.
Okay.
So Moss engages Roy in roleplay as Eliza, who cruelly jilted him not 3 moons ago.
Absolutely. Sort of just to do the whole, like, bumping into the ex in public thing.
Oh, yeah. It's exactly bumping into the ex in public.
In D&D. It kills me. Oh, God.
But it's like out of the mists, right? It's like I was wandering through the mists, and there she was in the mists.
Yes.
And she a figure
in Tesco's.
Appeared. And having had that moment once or twice in my life, it does feel like that once you've bumped into them. It feels like there should have been an out of the mists sort of lead up to it, but in fact the lead up to it was looking up from a list of stuff that you need to buy, wondering where the eggs are.
Oh god, absolutely. I've actually when I break up with people, I like to just disappear into the ether. So thankfully I've not had that moment.
Oh, okay.
Apart from one time, I think I was in a park and I vaguely saw someone who might have been an ex-partner of mine, but I didn't have my glasses on, so I couldn't see. So I'm like,
it doesn't count. I was still in the mist. It's fine.
I'm legally blind. I can't see. We're okay. Woo!
So this is actually a really lovely moment because it's effectively just like therapy for Roy. And Moss sort of just brings him along with it. But of course, to the rest of the table, it just looks like Roy is super fucking into it, right?
God, yeah. It's so sweet. Like, Roy gets to be really vulnerable. And I just think because Chris O'Dowd is a genuinely brilliant actor. Like, genuinely. He's been in a number of other things, sort of comedies and sort of more serious dramas and stuff like that. I saw him on Broadway, actually, and I thought he was unbelievable in Of Mice and Men, and he was just brilliant. It was so I think it really showcases that in that moment, and I think that's what makes it so funny is because it's just so like genuine.
It is really, really genuine, but there's also the timings of it are broken up just enough by things like Moss turning on the CD of sounds he's prepared. Yes. And there's like, he gets the wrong one. He goes, sorry, just bear with me. Just 2 seconds. He had prepared, evidently, he was prepared in this like seemingly medieval themed RPG to involve a helicopter. And look, I gotta say, I agree with his judgment.
Yeah, you know, everything's better with helicopters.
It's D&D. You want a helicopter? Fuck it. It's fine.
Yeah, Jesus, it's made out of...
It has the stats of a giant eagle, but it looks like a helicopter. Fuck it. It's fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, great.
Whatever you want to imagine.
Yeah.
And literally, I have my note here saying, here we get to watch both Chris O'Dowd and Richard Ayoade's acting chops, because Ayoade's performance is so subtle.
It's gorgeous. Like, and he Moss says, whilst being Queen Eliza, comes out and says to him, it hasn't been easy for me to come back to you. I just wanted to say one thing. And they both stare at each other with just Moss's gorgeous big brown eyes looking genuinely so soft and sincere. And then he says, goodbye. It's gorgeous.
And the whole table breaks down crying at the beautiful scene that's just happened.
It's so cute.
And we then cut to the next day, where Phil and the Johns are super hyped to play more role-playing games at the rugby club.
Yeah, they all love D&D and Jenn.
Yeah, Jenn's great.
And we get Phil with a lovely sort of compliment to Jenn, says, I'm glad Jerry died.
There's so many parts in this show where the compliment is so badly said, but everyone's like, it's fine, I understand. I get it.
And Jenn looks genuinely touched by it as well. She's like, oh, thank you. Fuck Jerry, am I right?
Oh my god.
Go on, poor Jerry.
No, he was seriously ill. His heart exploded.
No, that's fine. Fucking hell. So yeah, they all high five and leave.
Yep, or as they call it, Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, which is, again, just so gross.
It's very gross.
Doug, and we're left with...
Doug reveals to Jenn that he knows that she's the one who nominated him for the Shithead of the Year award, and I'm getting the distinct feeling I'm missing more references.
I think this is another... I mean, I, again, haven't seen The Godfather.
Oh, you neither. Good, I feel less alone.
No, don't worry, it's fine. I mean, I'm the worst at this. Yeah, so Doug... looks her in the eye and says, I know it was you. You broke my heart, Jenn. You broke my heart. And, yeah, Jenn backs out the room like, fuck.
Downstairs in the IT department, Roy is feeling genuinely a lot better this time, and not like in a lying sort of, no, it's fine, I can totally... But in a sense of, yeah, no, I'm actually feeling a lot better. Thank you for your support.
Yeah, he's healing.
And Jenn learns that Fredo in the film ends up getting killed by the Godfather. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. It sort of spooks her a little bit, and she decides to leave work early because she's not feeling very well.
I imagine she's not. And the final little bit of the episode, Doug has a fit of lateral thinking as he throws the shithead award out of the window and announces, problem solved. Starts just laughing to himself about how clever he is.
Yeah, we then cut to outside in the street Jenn frozen beside beside her car or a car that just has the statue sticking out of the windshield.
Oh, no.
And she is petrified. She glances up up from where the award came from, and she sees Douglas laughing maniacally in the window. And the last clip we're left with is Jenn running away. And anytime we get to see Jenn running in heels, it's my favourite. She just looks so unstable. It's my favourite. But there we go. That's the episode.
That's the episode. Yeah. So this is my first time seeing Matt Berry as the boss, and I love everything about him in this role. It's just so good.
He's wonderful. He's a real different energy than D&amp Reynolds, which was
Christopher Morris. So
yes, Christopher Morris. He's a fantastic actor.
I liked his performance too, I should say. I was super into it. And then I like this too. It's very different. I don't think it's better or worse. I think it's different, and I like this version with this cast of characters. I think these actors mesh better.
I agree. I'm sort of he's just a lot sillier, and I'm here to be silly, as we learned in the last episode.
Oh, silly is so good. Silly is so good.
It's so good.
I got no time for being edgelordy.
Yeah. So Paul, what were your thoughts on season 4, episode 1 of the IT Crowd?
It was so good. So I continue to love all of the little production details, particularly in the office, because I get the real sense that the people making this show, the art department, all that, they really understood nerd culture, and maybe were even that themselves.
Oh, they really did.
There's a poster on their wall, which I recognized immediately from a webcomic called XKCD by a guy called Randall Munro. Do you know it?
Right. No, I don't.
Oh, no, I'm sending you XKCD. It's gonna be really good. So years ago, he made a map of the social internet, which had things like MySpace Bay, right? And it's literally like a map. And then he would write different websites on it and different geographical sizes by whatever. He did this a couple of different times. So actually comparing those maps over the years is really interesting. So anyway, it's super nerd humor. I have a couple of his books. He's written books. He used to be a NASA scientist and then quit to write funny webcomics. And I love this man. He's great.
I love that.
So, again, it's little production details and the choice of statue things that they have on their desks and the plushies on the thing. And, you remember when you had a book that had the documentation for C+ on it on a shelf somewhere?
What's so fantastic about this is it's all done with love. There's so much care taken. It never feels like mocking or making fun of. It's just sort of celebrating, and I just think it's so lovely.
I think it is, yeah.
Because we all know people like that, don't we?
I think I am a person like that in a lot of ways.
I think you are too.
Yeah, because this is where, when it was first coming out, people were telling me, you got to see the IT Crowd and also you got to see the Big Bang Theory. In the same sentence, they'd tell me this. Then I watched a few episodes of Big Bang Theory and I was like, oh, this is bad. I don't want to watch the other one either now.
No.
So I think that's what put me off, because Big Bang Theory, it feels like being like me is the punchline, whereas in this, being like me is the setup. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel seen, I feel loved in this.
Good, and that's what we like. We love these characters, as fucking shitty and as weird and as awkward as they are. We love them. Even Jenn, even Douglas, being a complete tit that he is, we still feel some sort of, I don't know.
Attached to them, maybe, is what you mean?
We still like him a bit. Yeah, we still feel a little bit of attachment.
I see what you mean, yeah. I maintain from the first 3 episodes to this, Jenn is a complete dork. She's not a nerd. She's not sort of computer-y, academically in that way that we would associate with nerd, but she's a super dork, right?
Yeah, oh god, yeah, she is.
It's kind of cute.
And I think, yeah, what's so wonderful about Jenn is she just wants to be she still very much has that like high school, secondary school mentality where she's just like, I just want to be in with the popular girls. Like, I just want to be this girl that I've read about. And we all sort of, we know women like that. We've had thoughts like that ourselves. I think whether we're male or female, we sort of get where she's coming from.
I guess I don't know if it's like a direct personal experience for me, but I totally understand where she's coming from. And it's also why I like fiction so much, because I get to see into people's experiences that I don't get to experience for all kinds of reasons. In this case, because biologically I'm not that, and that's informed our culture.
Sure. No, I definitely lived with a Jenn.
Oh, no, really?
I lived with a Jenn. And it was mad to see, because you loved her. She's so funny and so entertaining and, you know, genuinely trying very hard. But it was also sort of that wild ride of like, you're not doing yourself any favors. You know what I mean?
Did she also try to pimp you out to friends' D&D games?
No, sadly not. I was doing that all by myself. Whoops.
Oopsie. Well, for real, listen, I'm super like, I think we can get you into D&D or role playing of some kind, because I think I don't think you dislike the game. I think you found a table whose style didn't mesh with what you like.
Absolutely. I will be interested to see if I have the attention span for it.
It's, you know, if you want to run a bunch of little short fit, we'll talk. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, just on the topic of D&D and sitcoms, Community has a really lovely episode of a D&D.
I've been told I need to see the D&D episode. This was another of the. I think I saw episode 1. I saw an episode. I forget which episode, but it's. I did a podcast on this a while ago, so I have seen an episode of Community, and I really liked it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's kind of. It's very self-aware.
It is very self-aware. It's also weird to see a young, childish Gambino.
Yes! Donald Glover. What a winner.
He's very good. He's good.
Outstanding in so many different areas. I could talk about Donald Glover forever.
Well, we might have to do a couple more sort of one-shot TV episodes, but for today, I think that's wrapped it up. I mean, my notes on this are... I continue to like the show. I guess the only other note I had was the jump from season 1 to season 4 that I've experienced. I've also noticed, like, each of the actors seems way more comfortable in their roles, which, you know, naturally, because they sort of learned how to inhabit the characters and sort of internalize them as part of themselves a lot more, which is wonderful. Mm-hmm. I also almost miss that sort of strange, awkward pacing from the first episode, because I think that little bit of they waited a half a second too long really added something to it.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't hate either way. I think I'm just noticing the detail, and I like both. But it's good. It's good. It's the show that I want to dive into more. And I'm in that weird position now where I'm like, but if I watch more of it, I don't get to do more podcasts on it. Shit.
No! God damn it.
So, yeah, we gotta watch every episode now. And what are you doing every day for the next month?
Goodness.
Yeah, I'm super hyped to see more. And do you have any more questions about my experience or what I've been liking about it?
I'm glad you've enjoyed it. And also, I want you to watch the whole thing. But specifically, the next episode I want you to watch is Douglas's entrance.
Douglas's entrance. Okay, well, I'll figure out which episode that is, and we'll talk. That sounds great.
Ah!
Thank you for podding with me. Thank you for joining me on the episode today.
Thanks for having me, Paul.
Yeah, and for the audience, you guys, the show is for you, and I'm hoping you guys liked it. If you have anything to talk about or you'd like to say about the episode, get in touch at @1forpaul on Twitter. Patreon.com/1forpaul is the place to go, where if you want to help us out and help keep the show running, and maybe buy us coffee or something, that'd be nice.
I love a coffee. Flat white, please.
Ooh, yes. Yes, those are the best coffee. If you'd like to argue about what kind of coffee is best coffee, also on Twitter @1forpaul, and we'll totally have that argument. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye now.
Bye. And this is why you need a 20-sided die.
Yeah, it's not for you, Jenn.